What happened to the Republican Party?
I believe the Republican Party has a platform that is a banner of bold, unmistakable colors with no pale pastel shades.
Read my lips.
We reaffirm that the United States of America is building a culture of life.
The Republican Party platform is hot off the press. And while there's a lot to be grateful for, like a focus on the economy, it would be nice to pay less than $3 for a gallon of gasoline. It's very pro-military. It's very pro-education, manufacturing, good tax policies. And you gotta love their position on religious liberty. This is like a breath of fresh air. The document states Republicans will defend religious liberty because we're the defenders of the First Amendment right to that liberty. It protects the right not only to worship according to the dictates of one's conscience. That's where Hillary Clinton would want to limit our freedom. You can go to church and worship. You've got that freedom. It's not what freedom of religion is. And so the platform states, but also to act in accordance with those beliefs, not just in places of worship, but in everyday life. You've also got to love the 2024 anti-CRT stance. It says this, that in schools, knowledge and skills, not CRT and gender indoctrination. Republicans will ensure children are taught fundamentals like reading, history, science, and math, not left-wing propaganda. We'll defund schools that engage in inappropriate political indoctrination of our children using federal taxpayer dollars. Love, love, love it. But you knew that was coming. This is not where Christian concerns end. Yeah, we want a better economy. Yeah, we want stronger borders. Yeah, we want a stronger military. Check, check, and check. But we have other concerns. In fact, we have even greater concerns, at least historically we have. And so I'm grateful for a lot of the Republican Party platform positions, which I believe will promote human flourishing. There are changes in this year's platform that I think make it clear the issues that are most near and dear to the Christian heart are not nearly as great a concern for the Republican Party. Now, to give you an idea of the Republican drift in these areas, let's compare the 2024 platform with the 2000 platform. And I think you might start getting the heebie-jeebies and you might start thinking, whoa, it might not be long until the Republican Party of the 2020s looks a lot more like the Democratic Party of the 1990s on moral issues. Make no mistake about it, the Dem platform, it is horrendous, which is why I think a Christian cannot vote for the donkey party. But that doesn't mean the elephants aren't migrating left. Now, just one note before we jump in. This is so funny. A big difference between the 2024 and the 2000 platform that I think reflects kind of our social media created short attention spans. This is the 2000 platform. Notice how wordy it is. Notice how lengthy it is. Now contrast that to the bullet point 2024 platform. It's clear the American attention span, it ain't what it used to be. Having said that, let's compare and contrasts the two platforms. In 2000, the Republican Party platform said this about life. The Supreme Court's recent decision prohibiting states from banning partial birth abortions, a procedure denounced by a committee of the American Medical Association and rightly branded as 4/5 infanticide, shocks the conscience of the nation. As a country, we must keep our pledge to the first guarantee of the Declaration of Independence. That is why we say the unborn child is a fundamental individual right to life which cannot be infringed. We support human life under the Constitution against federal law. We endorse legislation to make the 14th Amendment's protections apply on unborn children. I'm exhausted. Here's the party platform 2024. Republicans will protect and defend a vote of the people from within the states, not federal level, on the issues of life. We proudly stand for families and life. We believe that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution guarantees that no person can be denied life or liberty without due process, and that the state are therefore free to pass laws protecting those rights. After 51 years, because of us, that power has been given to the states and to a vote of the people. We oppose late-term abortion while supporting mothers and policies that advance prenatal care, access to birth control, and IVF. Now, some good stuff in there, but it's not nearly as robust. It is not a denunciation of abortion. I always love exchanging one sin for another. For those that argue that abortion is a states' rights decision, do we think that about slavery? Just leave it to the states. Oh, wait, we decided, no, that's a no-go because it is such a grotesque moral issue. Would we ever say something as ridiculous as, well, murder, it's a states' right issue? Now, there are some issues that we recognize that the federal government should have no difficulty stating, sorry, that's against the law. 2000 Republican Party platform. It didn't include anything on trans issues because, well, back then it wasn't an issue. But here's the 2024 less than robust position on the subject. Republicans will end left-wing gender insanity. We will keep men out of women's sports, ban taxpayer funding for sex change surgeries. Please note, it doesn't say that transgender surgeries are wicked and cruel, and no doctor with a conscience should ever perform them in light of his Hippocratic oath. It just says no taxpayer funding for sex change surgeries. And stop taxpayer-funded schools from promoting gender transition. That's good. Reverse Biden's radical rewrite of Title IX education regulations. That's good. And restore protections for women and girls. Now, some good stuff, but it doesn't forcefully state there are two genders that cannot be confused. And there's no denunciation of trans surgeries for either minors or adults. I don't think we need to make the distinction. These people are troubled. They need help. They don't need to go under the knife. And we as a society on the federal level should be able to say, no, these gender transition surgeries are barbaric acts that are an abomination. Back to 2000 regarding marriage. We support the traditional definition of marriage as the legal union of one man and one woman, and we believe the federal judges and bureaucrats should not force states to recognize other living arrangements as marriages. We rely on the home, as did the founders of the American Republic, to instill the virtues that sustain democracy itself. That belief led Congress to enact the Defense of Marriage Act, which a Republican Department of Justice will energetically defend in the courts. For the same reason, we do not believe sexual preference should be given special legal protection or standing in law. Here's what the 2024 Republican platform had to say about marriage. Nothing. It says absolutely nothing. And before you think I become a communist, I believe that it is a sin to vote for a party that adamantly promotes death and mutilation, that contorts marriage, that undermines family values. But we Christians, I think it's clear, we better start getting ready for a party that no longer represents those fundamental issues, at least not nearly as robustly as they did just 2 decades ago. Are you ready for that conversation? Discuss. Imagine arriving at church on Sunday morning and the building is empty again because the pulpit is empty again. That is a reality in thousands of churches around the globe. By adopting a seminary with the Masters Academy International, you will be training pastors to fill empty pulpits. Visit wretched.org/pastor. Pick your favorite nation and let's fill empty pulpits.